Today, we're going to talk about how to open yourself up to unlimited abundance in a more practical, realistic way. Now, this whole topic of about abundance and law of attraction is big for a certain segment of personal development people. But it's oftentimes very much based in just kind of theory and uh, intangibles around like vibration and energy, and just, if you open yourself up, then all of a sudden all this money will flow into your life. And I want to give a more practical, maybe scientific skeptic view about that and where it's actually applicable and how you can use it. Because I think not everyone is just going to accept that. And for me, I've always been a skeptic to that and wanted to see where I can use it effectively. I've met a lot of people in person in real life who have this. Some who are rich, some who are not, some in the middle. And when they tell me this, they've clearly believed it, and they're saying you're just not believing it. You're not opening yourself up to it. But is there truth to that? Is there not? To a degree, yes. But here's the thing: I've never seen any billionaires who are really into this law of attraction. I've read about 30 books by billionaires. I have the top list on the web. If you search books by billionaires, I have a list of about all the books ever published by billionaires. It's about 150. And I've studied thousands of millionaires, and frankly, no billionaires really talk about this stuff. You don't see Sam Walton of Walmart, or Charlie Munger, or the founder of Costco. They're not talking about law of attraction. They're just talking about economics, business, selling, and all this stuff. So I don't think it's necessary. However, I have seen enough people who have found success from this and other elements around that, such as visualizing and defining that clear goal. Conor McGregor, Tony Robbins, Big Sean, the rapper. And so I think there is a certain level of that can bring certain levels of success. I don't think it's completely grounded in fallacy. And, if you want to be a millionaire, there's plenty of millionaire examples of this. Not all of them, there's still a large camp that don't. And they just focus on core fundamentals, economic, personal finance stuff, stuff that you find in the book, The Millionaire Next Door. But I think there is a certain level of practicality to opening yourself up to abundance that can be useful. And I want to parse that out, because I think a lot of people, when I talk to them about it, it's very intangible, it's very theory based, and it's very just kind of vague and broad. And I don't necessarily like that when someone just tells me, "Oh, you're just not opening yourself up to abundance. You're not believing that if you just open yourself up to the vibrational and energy states, then millions of dollars are going to rain down from the sky." That alone, I don't think will do it, because if you're working in the middle of nowhere, and there's no career or job opportunities or business opportunities, and you're not doing anything about it, you continue to just play video games in your basement, and you open yourself up to abundance, really, how much of that is going to work? I think when you have to take it a step further, and this is, I think, where some of them fail to really take people forward, is the next step is you really have to take action on this stuff. You really have to work on it, find goals and activities, because I think the thing about it that's true, the mindset that's true about it, is that there is a lot of money in the world. There is a lot of career opportunities, jobs, whatever you want. It's out there in abundance. With 7 billion people on this earth, billion, that's a number that's almost intangible to you. It's hard to even fathom. With trillions of dollars out there, there is career and business opportunity. And it's just true. People are buying stuff all the time. And you just need a tiny, tiny, small segment of people to be interested in your products, and things start to get rolling. And that's just the business side. Let's say you want to get a career rather than start a business. I think a key part of it is the first step, which is to believe that there's so much abundance out there in the job market, in the job world. And it can seem hard. I've been there. It can seem like there's not when you're living in the middle of nowhere, for one, or two, you've been applying to jobs and it's been 2 years and you still haven't found one, and slash or you started a business and people really aren't buying your product. In fact, I've experienced all three of these things, and I'm actually still going through it. I'm not some guru talking to you. This personal brand, this YouTube channel, it's a hobby of mine, and I do get a very, very small trickle of sales to my affiliate courses and my online course, but it's still a small trickle. So I'm still working on that process. Now, when the abundance really started to work in my favor was when it came to careers, for instance. There was a phase for me where for a long time I couldn't get the jobs that I applied for. I couldn't even get interviews, and it was tough. And then the weeks turned into months sometimes turned into years. And really, when you break it down, hundreds of thousands of people, millions are being hired, and you just need one job. And I think having that first mentality of they are out there, people are hiring, and many of them started in a place similar to you with no skills or experience, and they grew that. You start to realize it is possible. So having that positive mindset can put you in the right mood rather than that negative downward spiral where you start to think things like, oh, well, there's a lot of jobs out there, but other people are taking them, and the supply and demand isn't right, and the ratio isn't right. While there may be some truth to that, it could be a negative spiral that leads you to poor actions, negative attitudes, discouragement, lack of persistence, perseverance, not really assessing where you're going wrong. And with the positive attitude, you can start to work on it. You can say, okay, there's abundance in this world. How can I get to it? If you live in the middle of nowhere, use the internet. Tap into the internet. That's how a lot of people start their digital businesses and make hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't need to live somewhere if you have a digital business. Or you move out to a major city like New York or Seattle, and boom, now you've made that change. There's always steps that you can move towards that can bring you closer to that abundance. It's not always just about, putting yourself there. And I think another part of it is in terms of abundance and letting that in. I think some argue, oh, there's a survivorship bias there. The people who believed this and then succeeded, that may have just been a portion of the people who believed it. And we don't hear about the people who were burned from it. And so, the ones who succeeded just by random chance, they start to preach this stuff, and it may or may not work. Whether or not that's true, you have to look at things from a practical standpoint. If you have that abundance mentality, you're not hung up on certain things, and you move forward and you take steps towards your actions. If your careers, for example, stall, let's say my business right now, it's stalling, that abundance will let you know, hey, people are out there. People are moving towards you. People are watching your videos. It's growing. Times will change. Things will change. And you start to move in different ways. Maybe this course isn't the right course to sell. Maybe there's something else I can provide of value that they would pay for. And then you start moving in directions where you're tweaking, tinkering, and trying things out until something works. Versus someone who just believes this is it, I can't ever earn more money. I can't ever, change my life. This is the limited options I have. Guess what they do? They tend to just stay the same because their beliefs hold them to a certain constrained reality. They think this is it. This is my life. I have to settle. And those are the people who end up settling for less than they deserve, or less than they could have, or just less than they want. And these are people that I see often, I think, that end up having the same job, the same minimum wage job 30 years later, because they've built that into their framework. This is how much is possible. This is the job I have, and I can never ask for a raise or any of that. For my job career search, I invested in courses by Ramit Sethi and others. I learned different strategies and tactics around positioning and pitching and networking and researching careers, which allowed me to get through and have a better funnel, a better system for finding careers that worked. Ultimately, that led to job opportunities. And that's still a skill set that I'm growing and getting better at, because I can still get better at my pitching, my networking, all these things. And I still continue to do that to grow my network and my career opportunities. And it's everything. It's, tweaking my LinkedIn profile and all this other stuff. So, long story short, there is some truth to that. The abundance is out there, especially if you live in a capitalist country like the US. You have no excuses. People are succeeding all the time, coming to this country with $20 in their pocket as immigrants, and then hustling and turning that into hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions. And that's, I've seen plenty of stories around that. My family even is an example of that. So how exactly do you do it? How do you release that abundance? I know it's tough. That scarcity mindset is like I've been there. I wasn't just this guy who always was like this. I was skeptical. I was resentful. I was like, oh, this is the scarce job economy. This kind of sucks. But when you open yourself up, when you realize, okay, this is where I'm at, how can I move towards a place of more abundance? Because it exists in this world. You just have to get there. That's when you make that change. Whether that's starting a digital business, whether that's moving to a place where there's more opportunities, so you're not in the middle of nowhere, or even setting up a game plan to get there. Let's say you can't move because you don't have the income right now or whatnot. Set up a game plan so that you save up, you build a plan to get there, and then try to take it from there. There's always steps that you can take, and I think that's the big difference between someone who is just in their basement, not taking action, and opening themselves up to abundance, versus someone who really is making progress. So those are just my thoughts. Let me know if you've had any success, or if you think I missed any tips. We're here to help our community. So in the comments, give other viewers, other readers, other listeners some tips on this topic. Things that have worked for you, things that you've seen work for others, family members or friends, or regarding the law of attraction and the whole abundance thing. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.